being responsible for your own joy. What exactly does that mean? Well, we're going to get into it.
Never gonna stop now, baby.
Hello, everybody. We're going to get into some housekeeping first. First. Welcome to the house that is mad. If you're subscribed already, then you're mad by default. You're welcome. If you've not subscribed and you like my content, kind of, sort of, maybe, then consider smashing that subscribe button down below, sharking us a like, sharking us a comment. And if you're nosy like I am, I'm just saying, click on the notification bell, then you'll always know when I upload something. And it'll satisfy all your nosiness, because I'm all for it. Notification bells, winning. There are ways you can support me, of course, under no obligation to do so. You can buy me a coffee if you want to. I've got channel memberships and all that shebang. No obligation, like I said, but I am trying to save for a rebounder. If you want to know what that is, it is like a little mini sort of trampoline. Yeah, we're there. I really want one because I want to go boing, 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 boing. I reckon that'd be fun. And I used to go on trampolines when I was Wickle anyway, so that would be fun. Before I get into the guts of this video, I'd like to tell you a little bit of a story. If you're new around here and you haven't backtracked to some of my videos, I've done a rock bottom video. That was my rock bottom. And yep, it did involve my mother. But anyway, let's go through a little abridged version of the story. So around about October 2023, my darling Adrian came up here. Hadn't seen him for yonkers. We talked, we caught up, and, it was like no time had really passed. It was great to see him at the time, it was wonderful. And one of the reasons that I wanted to see him, well, one of the things that I was going to do was give him a copy of all the Rita Hunter signature collection that I had on my hard drive. And I was going to put it onto a USB stick and give it to him. There you go. And I said to him at the time, I said, only the CDs that she released are on here. There's no videos. I said, but I do have videos. And I picked out a performance of Die Walküre from the then Australian Opera. They're now known as Opera Australia. And I cut to the beginning of Act 2, which is when Brunhilde comes on. And, the music was exciting. And, there must have been like a split second where there must have been a look of joy on my face, if you like. But then very, very soon after that, it became intensely painful. And it then just spiraled downwards into the whole why me, why me? And the why me question was, my mother passed away at home, and it was me that found her after she'd been battling a bit of an illness. And the why me was, why did I have to find her? But, I've since, done the hard yards of that. It was only ever going to be me. And the guilt from if she had died in a hospital or something like that and I hadn't have been there, that would have been worse, I reckon. I'm just saying, knowing me the way I do, I would have been left with nothing but regret. But then I would have been arguing, but if she died at home, would that have been better? So I know, and I've made my peace with the fact that she died at home and it all played out exactly how it was meant to. And I've made my peace with that, But the thing was, Adrian saw in me that tiny little bit of joy. And he challenged me on it. Good and proper, I might add. He rattled my cage. And he was not going to let it go. He was not prepared to let it go when he saw that tiny little bit of joy that up to that point he didn't see. But he successfully got me to see it. And now, what did this mean in the grand scheme of things? It meant facing the pain of watching her sing, listening to her sing. I made the channel for my mother, La Favorita. It's a separate YouTube channel. And I started to upload these performances onto this channel. I mean, I went through anger with him, with Adrian, because I'm like, no, how dare he talk to me like that? There was, and that was a risk a real friend, a risk a real friend will always take. They will tell you what you need to hear in times of trouble, not what you want to hear. And they will risk the friendship in order to say what needs to be said. And I think he even said to his partner when he got back, well, I said the thing. Pretty sure I'm not very well liked in that house at the moment. And we just got to wait and see what happens. But I did come around. In uploading all those things to my mother's channel on YouTube, it meant facing the pain head on. And it was not a picnic. It wasn't a picnic. But what came from uploading all those performances was that it got out of me that creativity that I had not been tapping into since she died, basically. And that was all due in part to that creativity, tapping into that. And that was the start of finding my own joy. Throughout all those few years of uploading all these things for my mother's channel, exposure therapy seemed to be the thing that worked for me. I literally had to face it head on. But, I'm sort of also thinking, since this had been going on, this downward spiral into the pit of despair had been going on for so long, that there was no gentle way to do it. You know what I mean? It had to be the rattling of the cage. It had to be okay, now it's time to face it right in front of you. After spending years of sidestepping it and, having it chasing me and biting at my heels, there was no avoiding it now. I had to actually face it. And along the way, it's done me wonders, because it's actually given me the skills to be able to deal with those now less emotional surprises when I watch her sing, listen to her sing. It still crops up, but because of all that work that I did in the last couple of years, it has given me the skills to be able to deal with that. So yeah, exposure therapy, it worked. So what does it mean to find your own joy? Oh, that's a big question, isn't it? And I feel that it means being responsible for your own happiness. Not relying on anyone else to create that happiness for you. Because the opposite of that is a huge trap, like massive trap. I fell into it good and proper, just so we're clear. But I've got sight enough to know that keeping the peace, making sure everybody else is happy, and relying on other people for your happiness, back away from that, folks, because it is a trap. It is a trap. It will bite you hard in the future if you don't walk away from that. Because at the end of the day, if you spend your life relying on others for your happiness, more often than not, you will end up hurt and disappointed on a very consistent basis. But to rely on making yourself happy has to come from a place of self-worth. To know that you're enough. To know that you are worthy of the life that you want to have. Too many of us get lost in the things that just don't matter. Well, it's easier, isn't it? But distraction's only going to get you so far. Distraction won't guide you to what you should be doing. It just won't. Now, I'll caveat this by saying not everyone is there emotionally And I get it, but unless you get your self-worth in order, those hard things will plague you for the rest of your life. And you won't do what you're supposed to do, and that's evolve. I should know, because unless Adrian had rattled my cage, I'd still be over 220 kilos. I wouldn't be doing carnivore just for me. And I wouldn't be standing up for myself as much as I do. I've still got a long way to go, folks, but, you know, self-worth. Here's the stitch, the incoming stitch. Self-worth leads to finding your joy, your own happiness, right? Without it, you are still at rock bottom. You are not out. Self-worth is what gets you out of your rock bottom, ladies and gentlemen. How do I know? Because I've done it. And if I can get out with all the demons that I had to face, anybody can. But you've got to start really thinking about doing the work and not avoiding it. You've got to face it head on. You've got to care. You've got to have self-worth enough for yourself to care enough to deal with these demons. Otherwise, you're still down there and you're flailing. I want you all out of that rock bottom. I want you out of that pit of despair. It breaks my heart to see you all down that well of like endless despair, just going around the wall in endless circles and not getting anywhere. You're basically just following your own footsteps in a circle, and you're not evolving. You need to find some self-worth to get out. That's the trick. That's the key. So I'd like you to sit down this weekend and give yourself pause and think about whether you're worth it or not. Just so you know, you are. But I can tell you that until the cows come home mooing, you've got to realize that for yourself. I don't mean just say it. I'm not talking about lip service here. Nah, I'm not interested in being told what I'm told just to shut me up. No, it's not why I'm here. If I hadn't had a tiny bit of self-worth, I wouldn't be on this lifestyle. I wouldn't be sorting my health out. And I certainly wouldn't have said before I started it that I'm not doing it for my husband. I'm not doing it for my children. I'm doing it strictly for me. I don't care about anyone else. This is for me and no one else. Unless you find that, you're going to be fighting with a family that's against you, and you're not going to have enough self-worth to be able to tell them to go jump. This is what I'm doing for me. If you don't like it, too bad, don't care. This is what self-worth is about. And you're entitled to do that for yourself. For yourself. Because I think it was Dr. Baker who said, no one's coming to rescue you, so you may as well sort it out yourself. I love you guys, and it's Tough Love Friday. But I'm seeing a trend of people who are constantly focusing on the wrong things and avoiding things, and it's got to stop. You're perpetuating a madness. Get it done. Because I love you guys. I don't like to see you guys hurting yourself by your own stubbornness, by your own fears. And that's what it is. It's fear. It is just fear. Fear is momentary. Regret is forever. I've said this in a video before, and it's true. Step up for yourself. No one else. Stuff everyone else. Step up for you. Because you are awesome. You are worth it. You are fantastic. And I love you very much. I look at the amount of subscribers that I've got. That's not just a number to me. Those numbers represent actual people who are looking at me and listening to me. I care about things like that. I do. I honestly do. It's important to me. I see your comments and I'm like, oh, it makes me feel good because I'm with people, not just this figurehead, whatever that is on YouTube. I want to be with you, not just there. Because this whole thing, this channel, means more. It is another aspect of my life that brings me joy. And on that note, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the weekend. I want you to be kind to those around you. Protect your peace. Don't take any crap. And be kind to yourself. You are loved. You are appreciated. And oh boy, start realizing that you are enough. I love you guys, and I will see you on Monday. Mwah!
Yeah, yeah.